Now, here's Jim Gardner.
Good evening. In just a minute or two, the mayor of Philadelphia, Wilson Goode, will address the city of Philadelphia, that in the aftermath of the move tragedy. For the first time, the mayor will talk about the loss of life. Late this afternoon, police and fire personnel removed 3 bodies from the move house on Osage Avenue, 2 adults and 1 child. 1 hour after that, police found a 4th body, that of a child, once again in the rubble of what's left of the move house. Earlier today, the mayor said that published reports of dead bodies in the move house were inaccurate. Now we know that the reports turned out to be correct. The search for more bodies was scheduled to end for the night at 7 o'clock, with the effort to be resumed in the morning. At a news conference earlier today, the mayor defended the action taken yesterday and defended the manner in which the fire department dealt with the ensuing blaze. Both Goode and Fire Commissioner William Richmond made the point that firefighters were confronting gunfire, making it impossible to fight the blaze in its initial and most volatile stage. Now, the mayor is asking for the opportunity to talk not to the media itself, but directly to you, the people of Philadelphia. We can go live now to Philadelphia City Hall, where Philadelphia Mayor Wilson Goode is preparing to make his address tonight. We understand that he will hold a cabinet meeting directly following the address, and then will hold a news conference at 9 o'clock tonight. And so now we look at Philadelphia Mayor Wilson Goode as he prepares to address the citizens of Philadelphia in the aftermath of the move tragedy on Osage Avenue in West Philadelphia.
Good evening. The past 40 hours have been difficult ones for this entire city, but they have been especially difficult for the residents of Osage Avenue and Pine Street. They have lost their homes and have had their lives interrupted. My prayers are with these families as they go through this most difficult and intense period. It is important tonight that I put in perspective the tragic events which took place over the past 2 days. This city knows MOVE. We know them as a group dedicated to the entire destruction of our way of life. We've listened over the years to their rhetoric. We've seen them kill a police officer, and we've listened to them threaten the life of a president, the governor, the mayor, judges, police officers, and even their neighbors. We watched them for years turn a neighborhood of peaceful homeowners into one of chaos and utter frustration. We saw them persist in action which caused children and adults alike to seek mental health counseling. They turned a peaceful block into an armed camp. The people from that block met with me on several occasions and pleaded with me to help them return peace to their block. Following these meetings, we consulted with the FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office, the DA's office, to determine whether or not there was a legal basis to evacuate the MOVE members from their houses. After much discussion and debate, it was concluded that we should not move in the summer of 1984, but should in fact wait. That fall, winter, and spring were uneventful, and no additional steps were taken until about 6 weeks ago. At that time, we received information that MOVE was removing dirt from the house, which they occupied on Osage Avenue, and possibly storing explosives and weapons in the house as well. We were also advised that they had resumed their loudspeaker attack on all public officials and on their neighbors. At the same time, neighbors increased their pressure on my office to resolve the issue. They told me very directly, if you don't solve this problem, we will. They talked with me about real concern are facing their block and about the possibility of armed confrontation between them and their neighbors. It was a combination of these events and other factors that convinced us that we had to act and act very quickly. About 2 weeks ago, we met again with the DA to discuss the 1984 legal memo as well as to review new information received. It was concluded at this meeting the DA would seek arrest warrants for 4 moved members in the Osage house. Further, the police commissioner was directed to prepare an overall strategy to lead to those arrests with 3 major directives. First, we wanted most of all to preserve life. We were especially concerned about the children, and we wanted to take every precaution that we could to in fact protect them. We wanted also to prevent the loss of any life, any police officer or firefighter. 1 week ago, we started serious negotiation with moved members. We sought to have them leave the house on a voluntary basis. There was first some hope, but by Saturday, all hope disappeared. We knew then that we had to take action and take it very quickly. The Police Commission selected Monday, May 13th as a day to serve notice and briefed the managing director, who in turn briefed me on the planned strategy. The plan which was discussed, the strategy which came forth, called primarily for the use of water and tear gas to force them to surrender. The rest, of course, is a part of our tragic history. After hours of trying to dislodge a bunker, the top of the Osage house by water, it was concluded that the bunker was too well built and could not be moved by that type of action. The backup plan was to use a crane and also to remove the bunker. But this was determined to be too dangerous for anyone who would operate that crane. It was then determined by the police commissioner and approved by the managing director to use a concussion device to explode the bunker. This was important in terms of our overall strategy. The bunker served as a place from which the moved members could fire upon police officers and firefighters, protected by a wall of steel and wood. We felt that by removing the bunker, we could force the moved members out of the house and carry through and follow through on our plan to protect life. The plan was a good one. It could have worked. The fire was accidental and was in fact unexpected. That does not, however, take away from the fact that we had a good plan that could have resulted in no loss of life or property damage. After the fire started, the fire department did not move in because we knew that 3 moved members had been spotted in the alleyway and had in fact at that time engaged our police department and fire. We did not want to risk injury or death to our firefighters, and therefore we moved in with extreme caution at that time. Let me make 3 points in closing. First, we tried to and worked in all the ways that we knew how to negotiate. That is my style. I do not believe in confrontation. Confrontation should be the absolute last resort. And I am convinced, as I stand before all of you this evening, that we did everything possible to negotiate and bring about a peaceful result. The MOVE members, however, wanted and desired to have a violent confrontation. And let me be clear, we should not in this city or any other city across the face of the city permit any one group to hold an entire city hostage because of their violent action. Two, we were concerned and received a tremendous amount of information that the group had built a tunnel and were in fact in possession of explosives with the potential to blow up the entire block. And we had concern, and in fact, that